Hello, everyone, and welcome to our podcast. Or maybe it's not even a podcast. I'm seeing Or Danielle, who's a podcast expert. So I'm saying welcome to our podcast, but welcome to our video series interviewing KMers, excellent KMers from around the world. And today we have with us Or Danielle, who is, as I already said, an expert for podcasting, but his role in Teva, which we will introduce today, is Global IT Learning and Development Lead. And in this role, he's also in charge of knowledge management efforts in the global IT of Teva. So, who are you? And what's Teva? And what's the global IT of Teva?
So thank you for the opportunity, Dr. Levy, for the interview, of course, and the stage to show what we're actually doing. So my name is Or Danielle, and I'm in learning and development and knowledge management for many years. And as Moria said, I love podcasting, so I also have a podcast with more than 130 episodes that actually even Moria was interviewed in the past. So a little bit about Teva. We are in more than 50 countries, 50,000 employees, a huge pharmaceutical company, and I'm responsible for the IT department in Teva. It's more than 2,000 people. Everything that is involved learning and knowledge management in IT. And we also have responsibilities not only for improve performance and knowledge management. We also advise on learning and knowledge management to different units in IT. We have 13 different units, business units internally. It's a huge organization, so everything is really big, and we have a lot. We have more than 4,000 systems, 400, 500 project managers, 700 technical owners, and we have a lot of work and a lot of business needs and KPIs that we need to follow. And that's in short, actually. We can continue if you want to.
I think that would be enough for now. So we understand it's one of the pharmaceutical larger companies. And of course, the global IT is a sub-organization of itself. And as you start working here, 2023, you see a lot of KM activities, a lot of sharing, maybe without calling it that name, sometimes using the term. And you are addressing a business needs mapping in order to see what they need now more than other things. Please share with us.
Okay, so this is always, as you're right, like in 2023, I joined Teva more than a year and 4 months, I think. And one of the first things that I always do, usually it's business needs and needs analysis. So we did needs analysis, and I went to the core roles, right? And the core roles in IT, it's project managers and technical system owners. And I said we have a lot of them, right? So we have total, right, of a 768 population, and we did interviews, we did the surveys, and we actually took a lot of information from different systems to understand the business needs exactly and what we need to address learning wise and knowledge management wise. And we found different gaps in the organization, and because of that gaps, then we started to actually address them as a KPI. For example, we find different audit findings in different specific areas that we need to fix. And we also found the same issues in knowledge gaps in people, and not only that, in different processes. So when we identified the issue, we just put it as a block that we need to deal with the KPIs, right, and how we can address it. And then we started programs, different programs actually, to address it, because Teva is so huge and we have IT all around the world, and we needed to create some kind of a common language standard with everyone, because different companies internally in Teva, when we bought them, work differently a little bit. So we started creating a standard, and then we created a process on how to do that. But let me maybe share. So during the business, the needs analysis, so we found that we need to clarify or to pinpoint more exactly on the R&R, the roles and responsibilities of these different roles. And we found gaps in that and how people perceive their roles in different locations around the globe. And we found gaps in processes and in training and in guidelines, and most important, maybe one source of truth, a knowledge base that can contain all the subject matter experts information, exactly all the procedures and exactly how you do it. Because we have different regulation in different locations, so we need also to understand that more accurately and map it. And then we decided to.
May I stop you for a minute, please?
Yeah, of course.
In many organizations, we hear the term one source of truth. And sometimes we say, okay, that's not important enough. But as I understand, Teva, because its growth is based, and it's good, wonderful timing that you have here at Tree, because Teva is based not only on natural growth, like a tree, but also a lot on M&As. It has lots of merchants and positions, and therefore, every time you're adding more people, more IT people, more project managers, more system technical officers, and every one of them, every company you purchase has a different understanding of what project management roles are. So therefore, the idea of one source of truth is not only nice to have in your case, but it turns to be something very crucial in order to work together and really succeed. Do I understand?
Yeah, that's correct. But actually, you know Teva better than me, right? We talked about it in the past. So you know, in the past, there was a lot of merchants and then a lot of different companies that were assimilated in Teva, right? And the attitude was the strategy was they work well, right? They work fine. Don't touch something that work fine. Don't ruin it. But
Don't
now,
mess up with it.
don't mess up with it exactly. But now, uh, globally, right, we see more regulation with the new technologies. We see new challenges. We need to adapt faster. So we need to create a global framework, right, of knowledge and how to update everything and how to be up to date because things are changing so fast. And not only the knowledge, the systems themselves that actually influence or actually change the way people work globally with Teva. Fifth, the impact sometimes when we're changing the way or system or the way it operates can affect 50,000 people, and we see a huge impact. So these core people, right, that actually are the heart, let's say, of the IT, because they are responsible for the entire system at Teva, they need to be the most technological, the most updated, with the most knowledgeable, but most importantly, they need to be synchronized with standards because everything today with AI and cloud technologies and integration with different systems affect everything. So this is a huge challenge, not only for us, I think for everyone that involved in the technological field and we're trying to be up to date with everything. And the one of the challenges, right, to do that is money. And usually, when we're talking about learning and knowledge management, we don't have a lot of budget most of the time. I think maybe you know. When you're in sales or marketing, usually you have a lot of budget. Maybe in logistics sometimes, you know, supply chain, you have a lot of budget. But most of the time, learning and knowledge management, you need to figure it out. You need to improvise maybe sometimes. So we found different gaps, and we have a lot of KPIs, not only the audit findings. We need to map different processes, maybe create new processes, maybe with new technologies that we are trying to incorporate. More technologies that actually creating engagement, creating cooperation between different teams from different units. So how we can do that? So the budget was good luck for, and what you can do about it. And when we started to understanding the tasks themselves, the knowledge and everything that we need, the skills that people will need, we understand we have a huge challenge. So we decided to create a mentor program. What does that mean? We need to identify the subject matter expert around the world in different disciplines in all the tasks that we need to achieve, right? And bring them on board with us. And not only that, we need to identify the process owner for all the process that we have in different technologies, and then create some kind of a process to create not only the training, but the standard, the procedure to update everything that how we work exactly in one place. That's the meaning of one source of truth. And as everyone that probably listening to me or seeing this video cast, you know, that's the main challenge, to actually work with subject matter expert and with the process owner and aligning the process and updating it with the relevant technologies and relevant stakeholders, because sometimes you have a process that is maybe involve 3 or 4 different disciplines. So you need to create some kind of a board, right, to agree on this subject, or maybe email them to that they can verify that it is correct the way we want to do that specific task. So all of that, and not only that, because you need sometimes theoretical content, right, on that process. And then you need the checklist, and you need to the how-tos maybe sometimes, and you need to drill down exactly how to do that. And that's a huge challenge. So we took that 47 mentors and we did some kind of a training for them on how to create and how to validate the content. And they also, we have a multidisciplinary team that from different units that actually work together. So it's not only them, not the mentors themselves, only the subject matter expert. And usually we do not put only one. We put 2 or 3 mentors from different countries, different units that bring different knowledge and background with them to that process. A process owner, sometimes the process owner is a team that is responsible for the process. And also we're adding some kind of a board from governance and legal. It depends on the process itself, sometimes from SOX, GXP, security, data privacy. So it depends on the expertise of that knowledge or that process. And we build the entire training, we build the entire SOP or any other document that is relevant to that process. We validate it and we put it in one place in the portal. And it also has, we have a website called Teva IT. So we have it also in video, and we have relevant links always to more materials to learn and specific documents that they need. And it's always, we have one version for everything that is most updated, right? That's the basic. Of course, I don't want to go there, but we can maybe continue.
So you're speaking about, I just want to summarize, you're speaking about process owners that may be individuals that are SMEs, or maybe teams of several people that complement one another and bring in different perspectives or different ways of doing that process. Then you're speaking about these processes that were rebuilt, validated, and distributed. You're speaking about several platforms with which people can access the knowledge and the information, The two main ones that I heard was one, your internal YouTube channel named Teva IT, and the second one was your internal portal. And these are the places where you put the content, the information, so people can use it. And you're speaking about a mentoring program. So there's something more than only SMEs. I'm listening.
Okay, so let me elaborate a little bit, and you're correct. So the knowledge base are the My Teva. This is the portal, right? It's accessible to Teva worldwide employees. And we have the portal IT in the knowledge management part, in the learning section. We have everything. And so the mental part, what you actually started, you wanted to learn more about it. So people actually not only they have access to all the information, the most relevant, updated information, right? And very accessible, really easy to use, and just use it in the day-to-day. They can also request one-on-one. So every subject or every topic or every piece of process that we have 2 or 3 or 4 mentors that can do one-on-one with you. All you need is just, we have a simple form that they can sign up, and we get notified, and we can actually create it one-on-one with the relevant people, so they can learn from that specific person. And also, if we see a high demand for a specific subject, we can create a mini workshop with them specifically on exactly what they need. And we, of course, document everything and updated the knowledge base because we have the capabilities not only with text, not only with documents, of course, with also videos. So we're trying to document everything, of course, with taxonomy and say everything is supposed to be searchable and easy to use. But you know what? Let me try to find another interesting. So I wanted to show the process. So this is, if anyone is interested also doing something similar in his organization. So we also have a community. We also have, I didn't mention it, but we do have, we work with Microsoft Suite, of course, at Teva, and we have a Teams channel. So we have Teams channels for every role, and everything that we do also updated and published there. We also push email notification communication to after every session that we have. And this is the process. So we did the program. We actually certified, right, the mentor, right, with 5 different meetings that we train them on different aspects of validating content, creating content, and mentoring. We did the process owner and actually verified that that's the process owner, and then we did prep session with them, with the different teams together to create the content itself and validate it with the process owner. By the way, it's really common, this process, but it's not, it may be common, but it's not widely used. It's common in the army that people that come from the Air Force, they know how to do it, because usually you have knowledge manager in a different unit or learning manager in a different unit, and then you have the subject matter expert, and then you have someone in the headquarters, right, that is the process owner and responsible, and this triangle is actually responsible for the entire process and validating the information. And maybe if I'm mumbling too much, I can stop and you can ask me more questions or relevant
No,
challenges.
please share, because we are interested in hearing about the program. How we now understand that there's a mentoring program and there are these mentors, that it's more than SMEs, and the naming is important and the positioning of them as mentors is important. We understand that there are processes and process owners and one source of truth. We understand that you're using all types of digital platforms, also internal to them. Also, we added now MS Teams, and we added several additional notifications, even using emails, so that we really cover the digital side in a nice way. What would we expect from IT if not that? And you know what? If you could go a bit into the culture aspect, Are they cooperating? As I know, Teva, everyone's always busy. No one has time. Can you speak about the collaboration and how easy was it? What type of change did you have to run there?
So this is a really good question. So I think that if you were talking about the culture in a huge pharma company, global company with 50,000 employees, everyone are always busy. You have meeting back to back most of the days, and you have so many tasks you need to complete. So it's not easy. But when we started this process of surveys and interviews, you always asking, I'm usually asking, when you have a problem, who do you talk to? When you don't find something, when you don't know how to do something, who is the person, the first one that you will approach? So we identified, let's say, key players, right? The main subject matter expert, but from the field itself, not only the manager or the people that are assigned to do that. And we also allowed people to register if they want to participate in a mentor program. So it was voluntary. Some of the people we did approach and ask them if they would like to be a mentor. The process owners, we identify them also and ask them to take part of it. And we're actually, everything is voluntary. And how we did it, I'm always saying, usually if it's people you can meet, bring food. Food connect people. But because we're a global company, I think good vibes. And I always say to people, look, it's not mandatory. If you want to have fun, if you want to, I don't know, do more networking, because everyone will get to know you, of course, because you will be the person in front of everyone in his organization about this process, about this knowledge, the recognition. And that's the vibe that we actually trying to always show. It's fun to work with us. All the prep sessions start with the good vibes. We involve more technologies, by the way. We do use AI to create short videos for them, for different units. We do use Suno to we created a song on system maintenance. And it's a hit song,
Okay.
right?
So what
That
I'm hearing
incorporates the
is,
main themes that we want them to remember about. So we trying to create. So the answer, in short, fun. It's never mandatory. And if you will join us, it will be an amazing experience for you. You will get recognition, and more than that, we cannot provide, let's say, money aspect or gifts, but we will try to do that in the future and get a budget for it. But all the mentors are doing it voluntary. All the process owners and the different teams, they do understand the significance of what we're doing. And they do say amazing that we're doing it because the many years we didn't. And it's also fun for them to do that. I hope I answered your question. Yeah.
wonderful, yes. And gamification, volunteering, what you can do in a big company because there's so many SMEs. So if he doesn't want to come in, that's no problem. You have others. And having this sense of a club that's closed club, and only those who will join us will have a wonderful experience, a wonderful journey. So people maybe saying that it's scarce and that not everyone can join makes it more desirable to join.
It's a part of it, but I think that most people actually, they want to be a part of something important. They want to do something different. They want a challenge from the different meetings they have all day. And trust me, when they meet us, it's different. They understand the vibe. We also provided all the framework for them. They just need to bring their knowledge and experience. And usually when we create a process, when we create a training, when we create a knowledge item, we emphasize we want your experience. What work, what does not work. right? I don't need any theory. If we want a theory, we can bring some kind of a vendor that will, mention what is system maintenance, and that's it. No, we want how we do system maintenance in the best methods that possible at Teva from your 10 years experience. And we have a lot of amazing people. We just need to give them the stage, and they will take charge of it.
Shine.
Yeah.
They will shine. I think it's very important because we are going back to our basic need as human beings to a sense of belonging. And sometimes being part of 50,000 people or even 2,500 or 600 people in the IT sub-organization is big, and people can get lost in their feelings. And having here another way for getting this sense of belonging, innovation, new ideas, being part of a small, shiny team that is leading something may be more important than money and formal recognition. Thank you. That's wonderful. And I think that many of our listeners can use this and reflect where they can use it in their organization for their needs. Do you have additional recommendations for people who want to set a KM program with no budget?
So I think,
Or okay, please go to the achievements first.
yeah. So no, I actually can answer your first question about what when you approach a huge challenge, right? You just need to break it down to small steps. I think, like in everything that you're doing, and allow yourself to be agile and pivoting, and understand that you will find more challenges during the way. So when we started, it was a completely different program, and then we find more important gaps, and then we understand, so this specific information and knowledge must be before the end of the year, so we change it. And then we understand there is a knowledge that we don't have specifically with these mentors, we need to add them another one. So we need always to be agile and understand that if something get delayed, that's fine. You can bring something forward. You can and so being agile and understand the needs of the specific personas, right, in the organization, because people are the organization, and that will work. And I think the attitude is we can't manage the timeline with this specific item, no problem. Let's change the date for that, and let's bring another one that's high value, and we need to do it. Maybe we should have done it before, but now we have the opportunity. So always look on the bright side of the situation, and do that. And it's a never-ending process. That means we have always ways to improve. So don't worry about it. You will have a lot of a lot of more tasks during the way. So about the achievement, we do measure KPIs. We do need to improve more in that, I think, like everyone, right? Because it's really hard to measure everything that you're doing, especially in such a huge organization. But we do see, and I'm pretty sure we will see also regarding the audit finding. When you do create a standard and when you do align with everyone and you do make the information and the knowledge accessible, I'm pretty sure they will find less findings in the next audit. And not only that, we see the validation of information in the system, it's much better. We see in everything that we created, right, until now, we see that people are actually aligning, and we saw one specific meetup that we created that was shared so many times that we didn't expect it to happen, right? So we do see different impacts in different business units around the globe. And we do have, I'm sorry that I cannot share all the KPIs because some of the information is sensitive, but we have a huge dashboard that actually showing the things that we do achieve. And you know, in such a huge organization, when even if you improve 0.01 in the big aspect, you're changing a lot. So sometimes we don't see the change immediately, or we don't see the impact, but it will take a year, maybe 2, maybe 3, but we will see everything improve because we did align, we did create the most updated standard, we did involve the most updated technology, and the impact, and we see also the impact with feedback from different people, right? We get in emails from technical owners that said, this is amazing, that will save me hours of work. And we see that in multiplies. So we do see a lot of improvement about that. And, you know, I did share also this quote from Dave Snowden. So knowledge management is not an end state, but a never-ending cycle of learning, unlearning, and relearning. So I think, and you know it much better than me, we always need to update the technology, the processes, the knowledge, the skills of people, right? And I think it's a part of the basics of what we need to do. And it's a never-ending state. And I think, you know, when we look in the next steps that we have, there's a lot of work always. And I see what we created and think we will change it probably in a year, because, or we will incorporate more AI technology or more automation on different aspects, and that will change the way we manage our processes. And we will need to update everyone, and then we will need to train them on how to do that, and we need to make it accessible. But it's so easy today because we already incorporated, for example, Synthesia beyond. We are working on a Teva GPT project internally. So there is different technologies that also entering that making it much more easier to make the knowledge accessible to everyone and even to create it. Yeah.
Wow. So I learned so many things here from the listening, and we spoke also about agile. And you are saying, and it's important that we listen, it's getting easier and easier due to the Gen AI that helps us with new technologies and new abilities. And therefore, if you have here one quote, I want to return to another quote that you had of Monty Python, always look at the bright side of life. And we can do it, and we are probably on the right track of doing it. So thank you all so much. And with this ending of learning, unlearning, and relearning, I want to thank you so much for your time, for sharing your story and Teva's story, and wish you a lot of success and not too many challenges. You're on the right way. Keep on
Thank
growing.
you. Thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
Hello, everyone.